When he had to pay the ultimate price, and it required that he will be separate from his Father. Are you there? You know, in order for Jesus to accomplish redemption, he had to suffer in his body, he had to suffer in his soul, he had to suffer in his spirit. You still remember the Roman scourge, the 39 stripes that came on him? You remember the crown of thorns? Remember all the piercings that took place? It was judgment on the body. I know most of you here have watched Passion of the Christ, and you that was by no means a replica of what actually took place. Jesus was on the cross naked. Forget about that feel of trying to make it look modest. You don't know it was all of hell that was against him. All of hell. In its vilest, most vicious form. And he was on that cross naked. It was judgment on the soul. Meanwhile, he died also as a criminal in between two thieves. It was judgment on the soul. And the aspect of judgment on the spirit was his separation from his Father. And that is something that has never happened in the history of God. So the man God created is supposed to be in his umbilical cord, is supposed to be connected to God perpetually. It was because of that separation. How many of you know that if a Jew is really mourning, how a Jew expresses mourning is that they put on sackcloth, put ashes on their heads, and they rend their garment. How many of you know that? Do you don't know that? Okay, I'm telling you, just in case you are not aware, that is how Jews mourn. Right? Now, so the Bible reveals that during that time that Jesus cried out, we're going to look at all those scriptures. That was when the veil of the temple was torn. And the Bible revealed how it was torn. It was torn how? From top to bottom. Now, so the veil of the temple is a curtain. And we have a lot of curtains in this place. And when a curtain wants to tear, it doesn't tear from the top because it's fastened by the twine. It tears from where? Below. Those of you that have curtains in your village that have been there since 1964, if you go back, it is only the under has, the color has changed, but if you go close to where the rope is, it still maintains its original texture. So I'm just trying to explain to you what happened in the Holy of Holies. What happened was that the Father, who happens to be the one that was dwelling in the Holy of Holies, tore his garment out of grief because he was separated from his son. It was an act of grief. Are you with me? Oh, you are not with me. Now, because you are not with me, I will stop there. I'm just trying to show you the example of a proper man. And when the disconnection had to take place in order for divine justice to be fulfilled, it was not only Jesus that cried out, the Father also expressed his grief by tearing his own garment. So you, as man created by God, is supposed to be a being whose umbilical cord is perpetually connected to God. Just like the baby, the child in the womb, cannot do without connection. That's how the child eats. It eats through the umbilical cord. It drinks through the umbilical cord. If you take Panadol, the child has taken Panadol. If you drink Coke, the child has drank Coke, because there's a vital connection. That's how man was supposed to be, vitally linked to God through his spirit, and being a conduit through which God can operate in this frame of reference. You will never see him. He will be hidden in the shadows, but his spirit, through the mortals he possesses, will be doing his will upon the face of the earth. We cannot define man in isolation of his kingdom assignment. If you take man out of that context, I'm going to take you to the book of Genesis chapter 3 shortly, and then you are going to see what we became. And many of us are still like that even till now. But God will change that in the name of Jesus. He said, but ye shall die like men. One of the first aspects of the judgment is mortality. That means in God's original plan, you were not designed to die. All right? So it means that in our ultimate state of existence, which is in the frame of reference that is beyond this world, death will not be part of our experience, because there is no death in him. And as he is, so we will be in every dimension. Other than his Godhead, his government, we are going to be miniature manifestations of him that are linked to him perpetually. Is that clear? Second thing